Hello, Alex THFC. I'm back. I'm back. Yes. Oh, I just needed to get some things off my chest. I had to get some things off my chest, and it was not a moment too soon that I needed to get things off my chest regarding Tottenham. Um, just some housekeeping. Just some housekeeping. I have to say. Firstly, to all the naysayers that said that I was keeping quiet. No, I wasn't keeping quiet at all. I was quite happy to go on stream, but I had some ideas that I wanted to do because I'm not a stats guy. I'm someone that likes to talk about seeing what I see on the pitch because going to the games, you see what you see on the pitch and see what you see and see what is good and what is not good. Not stats that tell you what things look good because it looks like facts and everything else and stuff like that. Unfortunately, can't do it at the moment because like they say, there is copyright issues with that as well. So there were some ideas from me that I wanted to do, um, but unfortunately they haven't come to fruition at the moment. So you're going to end up with me just talking about Tottenham, which is something that I should have been doing a long time ago. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back talking about Tottenham, talking about my opinion and talk about what really needs to be spoken about at the end of the day. What needs to be said, and what needs to be looked at the end of the day as well. And I've got a lot of things to say off my chest. Firstly, you need number one, which I think people completely utterly forget, and completely utterly forget completely. Also, just to say as well, if you can like the video, subscribe, that would be really much appreciated. But yeah, we just want to get straight into it because we're going to see how this goes as it's a long time since I've streamed. Firstly, the the whole thing with the European squad. Now, the reason why I get wound up about this whole thing about this European squad because we've been going on about this for how many years, and it's only started. It's only started now. We only started to think about it now because we're in the Champions League all of a sudden, and it winds me up the whole thing because we've been in Europe for how long now, and it's not like we've not. It's like it's all new to Tottenham already. The board's known about this for a long time now. That we've always had problems with our European squad because Doherty, Davis, and Rodon are foreign players in Europe, and so it just confuses me why all of a sudden we're trying to figure out the whole rules thing, and it really does confuse me, and it now even more confuses me that we're buying even more foreign players, and we still haven't sorted out the foreign players thing. And I know that there was rumors that Dembele might want to stay, and again, it don't make no sense because you can't fit him in the squad. So you can't have him in the Champions League squad. So how can you keep him? The guy's gone 200 grand a week from what I'm hearing. I don't know if I got that wrong. I do. Someone needs to correct me. So how can you keep a guy who's on big wages, not in the Champions League squad, and think that that's okay? It's not okay. He needs to go. It's needs must now, unfortunately. And I don't understand where this whole thing about the Champions League squad, where people do not understand. I don't understand. So uh, I have to be honest, and it really just sums it up. And I've now got the article up now because I just want to get the article up now from Alice to Gold, and I think it just sums it up just from our the whole thing with Richarlison being signed. It adds another name to the fact that we've got too many foreign players in the squad. Amazingly, again, we've got too many homegrown players now as well, which again sums up how badly we've managed the squad the last few years. It's just so bad. And really, for Tottenham, yeah, we can't look at Paratici too much, but Paratici is at fault as well for this last season as well. Last summer as well. I've got to say that. So I mean, I've got to say this, and the Premier League is fine. To be honest with you, it's only one over, and so that can be sorted. It's the Champions League squad that needs to be sorted. And it's amazing how now we're all starting to concentrate on it because we're in the Champions League all of a sudden. Which again, I have to remind Tottenham fans, it's not a trophy. Because the amount of times that I've been sitting there and I'm listening to Tottenham fans jumping up and down saying, "Oh, we're in the Champions League, we're in the Champions League." Have we won anything? Can someone tell me? Have we won anything? To anybody in the comments at the moment, have we won anything? No, no, we haven't. I'll get on to about that subject, by the way, because I'm hearing that people keep on telling me that I'm emotional about players. I've got something to say about that, but we won't get onto that just a minute ago. I'm holding on to that one. So we'll get on. We'll move on. Right, big up to the people that are watching, by the way. So at the moment, as it stands, um, we've got Hugo Lloris. As it stands, we've got 22 players. 22 players, foreign players in the squad. 22 foreign players in the squad at the moment. Okay, so that includes Hugo Lloris, Matt Doherty, Emerson Royale, Eric Dyer, who's a foreign player in the Premier League squad and the Champions League squad. Christian Romero, Ben Davis, Davison Sanchez, Joe Rodon, Sergio Reguilon, Piero Emil Horibier, Rodrigo Bentancur, Yassim Bissouma, Giovanni Lo Celso, Tunga Ondombele, Pepe Matassar, Ivan Perisic, Dijan Kulusevski, Brian Gill, Stephen Bergwijn, but he's looked to be leaving now. So that's now 2021. Lucas Moura, Song Yun Min, and now Richarlison. So now not included Bergwijn, because Bergwijn looks like he's leaving now, which, to be fair, I'm going to come on to him. That's another subject I want to come on to, because I've heard so much rubbish about him, and it's not me just defending the undefensible here. It's just agendas from Tottenham fans. Again, you know, we like to talk, we like to say the same thing that everybody else says. It makes me fed up, to be honest with you. But we'll keep on the subject on this. So you've got, if you look at it, counting on it, you've got 4 players over. Now we're looking at getting Langley, so it's going to be back onto 22. 22 players if you get Langley in on loan. Another reject from Barcelona, by the way. A brilliant plan from Pratici, by the way. But anyway, moving on. So this is the thing. You know, we've got all those players, and we need to get rid of all some of them, and that's only to get 17. So if you want to get rid of, if you get more foreign players in, we've got to get more foreign players out because of the rule. So it's just, for me at the moment, us talking about other foreign players coming into the squad. You need to get players out before you get foreign players in. It's a problem. It's a massive problem. Then you go on to the homegrown squad, the homegrown players, and because of the fact that some of the players like Skip, Ollie Skip, I think there was another one, Sessegnon, Sessegnon as well, and I think there was another one as well. Yeah, DJ Kulusevski, who's under 21s, wasn't he? But I think that's for the Premier League. So because those 3 are now over 21, I think it's because their birthdays were. Oh, I think it was. I can't remember what it's all about. It's a very confusing thing, this whole thing. But yeah, but they're part of the main squad now. Basically, they're part of the main squad. They're not the under 21s anymore now. That's the whole point. They're not the under 21s anymore. So it just adds to the fire of it. And the thing that fascinates me about the whole thing is that we're all moaning and groaning about, we're getting Spence. Oh, really? Why are we getting Spence for? Oh, we can get better players than Spence. And I'm like, well, there's only one reason why we're getting Spence. And yeah, he's got potential. But the big reason is because he's homegrown. I don't understand where we're going with this. Could someone tell me? But Again, agendas, but we don't think about that, don't we? Because we like playing FIFA. Some of the Tottenham fans have got to say that. So this is the thing. So again, we have to be honest with ourselves and be, quite realistic with ourselves. We've got a long way to go to try and fix this squad, because you can't have players out of that Champions League squad who are in the Premier League squad, because that won't make players happy. It won't make a happy squad. I'll tell you that for a fact. Didn't help. It didn't help us in those previous years when we had Matt Janssen. Um, I think it was a winger, for the French winger. I can't remember his name at the top of my head now, who were left out the squad. Foyth left out the squad because we had too many foreign players in the squad. It didn't help us whatsoever. Did not help us whatsoever. So this time round, it's not going to help us at all. I mean, if you look at it from afar, it would have been better to get under 21s, players that are under 21s, because they would have been in that under 21s section. So you could just add them to the under 21 section and it wouldn't have been counted in the main squad. That's the whole point. But obviously, Conte wants proven players, and that makes more sense to him. And I understand that. And that's it. But there's a problem. You see, there is a problem. So, in terms of the foreign players thing, I mean, people just need to be realistic here. Until we get rid of a lot more foreign players and whittle it down to under 17, we shouldn't be saying we shouldn't be talking about how many foreign players we're going to get, any more players at the moment. You see, so for me, that needs to be sorted. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. It's a boring thing, and that's it. Another thing I need to talk about. Bergwijn. I've heard a lot about Bergwijn. It looks like he's on his way to Ajax. That was always on the cards. It looked like. Now, for me, now I'm not a big defender of him. I just think I just look at it and look at it from a different kind of eyes, and I look at it and say, was he actually good enough for Tottenham? And yeah, maybe there was some deficiencies there, but when he came in, was he the main choice of that manager at the time, Mourinho? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Even Mourinho admitted it. He wasn't the main man, and he started very well. He started really, really well, and then ended up, struggling. There was a pandemic as well. There was a a stop of football because of the pandemic, and then you know we carried on, and he lost his way. And I think the main thing I would say about Bergwijn that stopped his development was the fact that we bought in Bell, and for me, that didn't help the situation. And there was a game against Leeds at home where he played really, really well, did what Jose Mourinho wanted him to do, and he got dropped after that game. He got dropped, and for me, and he did really well because he helped Song and Kane that game, and he got dropped after that game. And I think that's been a, a, a way the way that his tenure has been. It's been stop start, stop start, stop start, stop start, and I think it summed it all up with Conte because, like I said, that game, and I was there at West Ham, and he was the best man on that pitch against West Ham in that Carabao Cup game. Honestly, the best player on the pitch, and he played really, really well. Got, I would say he was a catalyst for that strike partnership of Kane, Moira, to working for me. He was the best player on the pitch by a mile, absolutely by a mile. And what's the reason why we won that game completely? And that for me, he's shown how he just he was just showing all that skill, and then it summed it all up when he came to when It summed it all up, that Leicester game when he came on that last 10 minutes, and he really bossed that game. He bossed it. He changed that game completely. Absolutely changed that game completely. And for me, I have to say this. I have to say this. He, he should have been given a chance afterwards. It smells the whole thing when Pochettino, we got through that Champions League quarter final against Manchester City, and you had Llorente and Moura up front, and they played very well, got us through the game. Next game against Burnley, he dropped him for Kane, dropped Moura, dropped Llorente for Kane. We ended up losing that game. And that really lost his confidence. Now, I know there's a history there, and the story goes on onto the Champions League final, and we know what happened there. But I think that was the one game that I remember very highly, where Moura and Llorente played very, very well. Kane just came back from injury, and it was the case that he should have carried on with the two strikers up front, Llorente and Moura, for the Burnley game away from home. But we ended up not doing that, and that was the worst decision that Pochettino made. One of the mistakes that Pochettino been making in his tenure is one of his last seasons at Tottenham when we ended up in the Champions League final. So I think it just sums it all up really with Bergwijn, that he has been very unlucky, and I think it's just proven that he's a good player. The fact that he's worked, he's doing well for the national team as well, and you can see when you play at his strengths, he does very well for you, doesn't he? So I think he's very unlucky. It's sad to see him go, but unfortunately, because of the foreign player rule, needs must. Unfortunately, and that's it. So you have to we have to be realistic, and that's it. And that's all we can say at the end of the day. Um, One of the things that I wanted to talk about as well is the season ahead. Um, I have to say this. I think people completely forget that we are going. The next season's like no other season, because we've got the World Cup sat bang right in the middle of the season. And for me, that is a game changer for any team. For me, I think people forget that a major tournament like the World Cup changes lives, like they say, because winning the World Cup is like a lifetime. Well, think of a lifetime, and if anything happens in regards to a team going out, or any disappointment, or you could have a you could have a you could have a team, a nation going all the way to the final. That's a lot to take in, and they don't really have that much time to recover. I need to get the times up when they are doing it, but I can't remember. Now. But for me, it's just, can you really? I mean, for me, I think that's going to be telling for me what's going to happen the rest of the season for me. And I'm not looking ahead. I'm not looking at the beginning of the season. I think it's important that they do have a good pre-season, yes. But I think the most important part of the season for me is after that World Cup. 100% after that World Cup. Now, if after that World Cup we carry on our what we carry on, I'll be happy. I'll change my opinion. But at the moment, I think we're looking too way ahead of ourselves, thinking that we are title contenders. Now, yeah, people could look at it and say we've made some good signings. Okay, we made some good signings. Okay, um, I'm indifferent. Like I said, we look at the signings that we've made already. Ivan Perisic, good player, very good player. good experience. He's got some good pedigree. Um, let's see how he copes with the Premier League. Then you have Fraser Forster. What is there to say in there? Really, he's only there because he's homegrown. He used to be very, very good. He has gone back to form, but he does. He will be second choice. Yeah, okay. Then and then you got Basuma. Yeah, Basuma's a fantastic signing. Can't lie. Didn't like what he said in his interview, saying that he just wanted to play in the Champions League. I want to hear people that want to win trophies. And I like I said, I don't want players coming to Tottenham just because I want to play in Champions League. I want them to want to win major trophies for this club because that's what's missing for this club at the moment. When you've got Harry Kane and Son not winning anything, not winning anything major, and you've got other players who are younger than them, like for instance, um, you know, you got Jamie Vardy winning the Premier League and the FA Cup. You got Foden, who's younger than Kane, winning all the trophies he's won and won multiple trophies at that as well at his age, and he's far younger than Kane and Song as well. So I want to see us win trophies, and I think that's what Conte wants at the end of the day: championships. That's it. So, and also he hasn't got any experience in the Champions League as well. That's another thing as well. 2 games a week, another thing as well. But I've repeated myself on other channels as well. So that's another thing as well. So we have to see how he copes with that. Playing for Brighton, yes, he looked the best player out of all of them, and made some of the players around him look good, which is again a good sign there. But can he swim in a pond of a top of good players around us at our club? We have to wait and see. And then Richarlison, which, if I'm really honest, he's a good striker. Hasn't pulled up many trees. He did play, he did do his part to keep Everton up, and he's a striker that I would say, yeah, he's a good striker. I wouldn't go over the top though. I wouldn't go over the top. I wouldn't say that he's, something that is gonna be mind blowing. No, absolutely not. And he has to improve that. And if he's gonna do that thing of going down too easily, I think sometime it will get to Tottenham fans. It will really get to Tottenham fans because especially if he gets booked. So, but he's a good signing. I've taken him 100% over Jesus all day long, and if I had the choice, I would take Richarlison all day long. So it's a good signing. But again, has he done 2 games a week? Again, I know we're getting a big squad to try and cope with that, but we didn't cope with that very well last season. And I mean, I get Tottenham fans saying to me, "Well, we coped with that under Pochettino." Well, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. So what we moaning about? What we going on about? Again, agendas from Tottenham fans, but we have to remind ourselves the truth hurts. Like I say, I have to remind Tottenham fans a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing with, I'll move on because some people have criticised me for being emotional about players. A bit contradicting themselves because these are the same people that say to me, "Don't talk about Sol Campbell." Okay, right. If you want me to not be emotional about players, let's talk about Sol Campbell then. The guy that left Tottenham, yeah, hurt us, but went to Arsenal, ended up winning the FA Cup and winning the Premier League. Now are you talking to me? Now are you talking to me? No, you're not talking to me because you're just waffling. That's the point. Teddy Sheringham left the club, won the Champions League. Walker won the Premier League. And the worst one Yeah, the guy that would have been useful for our squad, but unfortunately because of the European rules, is that Foyth. Foyth that people thought he was absolutely useless, goes to Villarreal for cheap, then wins the Europa League. Who's laughing now? It's too many times I've been talking about this. Too many times. Too many times the same old story. The same old story that I keep on hearing all day long. And all I'm hearing is, oh, you know what? Yeah, but we're still in Champions League though. And we've got Antonio Conte in the building. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It will happen. Just be patient. Well, Conte's not going to be patient. I'll tell you that for a fact. Even if he signs a new contract. So what you saying? Not really saying that much, aren't you? Well, that's all I need to say anyway. But it is what it is, and that's what I need to say. I mean, big up to everybody that's in the chat. Big up to everybody's in the chat. Um, you know, it's nice to see that everybody's here watching, and it is really appreciated. Big up to Tottenham Gold. Big up to Lily White Lane. Big up to Liam. Big up to Derek. Big up to Jeffrey. Thank you for the kind words, Jeffrey. And yeah, it's yeah. Thank you for that. You said on another show that if we get Basuma, you'll change your mind on Parategy. Have you? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change my mind on Parategy. I've never. Like I said before, and I'm putting this on. I'm putting this on record. Until I will give Parategy credit when Conte leaves. We'll see what happens when Conte leaves. If he carries on and gets a manager in, because he's proven that he's not very good anyway, because he got in Nuno. Contrary to what people are saying, he did push to get in Nuno. He's the one that tried to get in Nuno Parategy, and persuaded Levy to take him on because Tottenham were not interested in him whatsoever. He wasn't on the list. When Parategy came in, the list completely changed. So, for me, and he's shown his deficiencies at Juventus. He's shown his deficiencies at Juventus. So, for me, we'll see how good he is when Conte leaves. Because there are things there at Juventus for me, if Conte leaves, there are certain managers that will fit our way of playing. One would be Sarri, but he messed up at Juventus when he was he didn't get Sarri's methods at Juventus. So, we have to see what happens. I mean, I'm not a fan of Sarri, but we have to go with the systems that we are doing at the moment. Look at this. We are playing a 3-4-3, or 3-5-2 with the wing backs. We are playing a wing back system. So, we need to carry on that system. That's the point. So, for me, it's not. It's quite simple for me. I don't think this is a short term thing for me, because a lot of people tell me about Conte and say that at the beginning it looks good because he works hard, the players, but they'll get tired. They will get tired, and that's when it starts to fall off. So Parategy should know this because he's worked with him before. So it'd be important to see what he knows in terms of his successor. I don't think he'll be here after. I don't think he'll be here after Conte leaves. I think he'll go, and that's why he's brought in the people under him to help him out, because I think they're going to be taking over his throne. That's just my opinion. That's the way I think. That's the way I feel, and that's it. Simple as that. So, but I was going to do a video on it, and I still want to do a video on it, but I think at the moment we'll leave it there with that strategy, and that's the reason why I'm saying that's when I'll start looking at strategy and saying that I'll give him credit. But at the moment, I think he's got lucky. I think, like I said, he got lucky with those two rejects from January. I'm sorry, The questions were asked, and that's it. Simple as that. Um, you know, the questions were asked already. The questions were already there already about that January transfer window until towards the end he got lucky with those two signings. Those signings have helped him a lot, but that's because of Conte. Conte's an absolutely fantastic coach. And another thing as well, I need to say this as well. It's a very functional way that we play. A very functional way that we do play. Big up to the people that are watching, by the way. Big up to the people that are watching. If you can smash the like button, that'd be great. But smash the like button if you don't agree with me. Smash the like button if you do agree with me. That's what it's all about, and that's it. But as I say, Mr. Box Office has to talk some truth, and that's it. And that's it really for me. And like I said, like I think he got lucky. He got really lucky. And for me, I mean, maybe if I'll change my mind if we win a championship, but again, that's down to Conte at the end of the day, not him. Sorry, that's down to Conte. He's the one that's pushing this ship forward, as far as I'm concerned, and that's it. And for me, that needs to continue. That needs to continue at the moment. But again, there's question marks for me how long this will last, because the you can't keep this hard work up because the players are going to get tired. And like I said, Kane's nearly towards the end of his career. Son's nearly towards the end of his career. You got Dyer. Oh, Dyer, honestly, when the people that say that Dyer's a good player, honestly, please, honestly, stop going on. Bloody hell. Oh my God, people go on about him saying he's a great player. Honestly, because Maguire's playing rubbish for England doesn't mean that you should play him. That back three makes him look good. Sorry to sidetrack myself, going to digress, but it's just the people that say that Dyer needs to be in the top. Yeah, he's an okay player. He's an okay player, but Mamero makes him look good 100 times over, bro. 100 times over. I'm sorry, but why are we talking about this guy saying that he's very good? Like, I'll talk about Van Dyke. I'll talk about give me Van Dyke. Yeah? Give me Romero all day long. Yeah? But you're telling me that Dyer's a good defender. The good defender in our team was Vertonghen, but he lost his pace. He lost his pace. Ledley King, legend. Legend. But now we're in this phase where, because we haven't seen anybody else that's actually very good. Oh, we've got to say Dyer's a good player. And yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. Come on. Can he touch those players? No, he can't. He can't touch those players. He can't touch those players at all. It's a joke, an absolute joke. And I don't understand what we're talking about. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. Oh, just I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this. Honestly, do not know where we're going with this at all. You know. Um, but yeah, just for me, it has to. We just have to be. We just got to be realistic. We just got to be realistic with our expectations at the end of the day, and that's it. Um, but I've even just completely forgot what I've just about to say now. This is live. First time going back live. Completely forget what you're going to say. Um, but yeah, for me, just like Dyer's not a very. He's okay. He's okay. He's done okay, but I think Romero's been making him look good, and Davis has proven to me, proven to everybody that how good he was. Because I was told that Rose was actually doing better than him. Okay, no disrespect to Rose, but where's Rose right now? Who's still in the Tottenham team at the moment? And people were telling me that Davis shouldn't be in the team. Okay, I need some receipts for those people that were talking to me about it. Need some receipts, because no one those receipts haven't been coming a long time. You know what I mean? Big up to everybody that's in the chat. Big up to everybody's in the chat. Yeah, thank you for your support. Yep, I'm back live. Whether I'm going to be doing it how many times over the next couple of weeks, I think I might be, because gosh, honestly, some of the rubbish I've had to hear from Tottenham fans, honestly, I don't know what else to say really. Honestly, I do not know what to say. You know what I mean? And honestly, the chickens are coming home. Well, maybe not saying that, but there's going to be eyes and ears at Tottenham at the moment. Eyes and ears at Tottenham at the moment. Honestly, eyes and ears are on Tottenham at the moment, watching Tottenham and saying to themselves, and watching Tottenham and saying to them, and watching Tottenham and saying, okay, let's see what you can do now. You got your signings in now. You got Conte in the building now. Now see what you can do. At least Tottenham need to be winning a trophy this season. At least, I think a major trophy at that has to be a major trophy. I don't mean the Carabao Cup because we've won it before and we know what happened afterwards. You see what I'm saying? I mean FA Cup. FA Cup. Unfortunately, we're not in Europa League. I would have taken that because I would have wanted to win that. That would have been a good trophy to win. I don't think we've got no chance of winning the Champions League because, like I said, until I see them coping with 2 games a week, they've got no chance. Because we'll be complaining about playing on Wednesday night and then playing on a Saturday morning. Well, that's the squad, man. That's the squad. So until I see us coping with that, I have to seek my opinion on that one, unfortunately. So that's it, really, for me. So, yeah, it's just a lot. There's a lot of things. I mean, one thing I wanted to discuss as well, these stats. Oh my gosh, these stats. That's one thing I have to get off my chest. Stats. Oh my gosh. Why do people go on about stats so much? Honestly, it's just unbearable. Honestly, unbearable that we talk about stats. I mean, we're not we are living literally in a FIFA generation where stats are looked as the bee's knees, and where we have to, you know, it's golden because it's facts. Well, for me, I mean, I'm not a stats person. I'm just not a stats person because for me, I think you can tell when a team's very good by watching what they do on the pitch. Now, you can see there's certain things that Tottenham are very good at, but there's certain things that we're not very good at. And that's it. Now, yeah, under Nuno, we didn't have any shots on target. That's improved. That's improved massively. But we have spells in the game where we're having good shots, and that is wholly because of our 3 strikers. Kulicheski, who needs time still, I feel. Then you've got Kane and Son, and for me, those 2 players have been the main reason why we are where we are at the moment. They've kept us above that level where if we didn't have those 2 players, we were below that level. And I think really it needs other players stepping up now and becoming more of a team sort of overall team. And that for me is what will tell whether we are good and we're heading towards the right place and heading towards the right direction. And that's it for me. Um, and yeah, I just have to say that because I do feel that we do look at stats too much, way too much. And I mean, people back Moira, and his stats are absolutely awful. If you're talking about attacking attacker, his stats are absolutely awful. There's no clinicalness about him at all. He does it in spells, and he does it not very often. So I think we have to be very, very careful about stats. I listened to a coach one time, and he said, if we just base our decision on just stats, you really are clutching at straws, aren't you? And well, he didn't say the clutching at straws thing, but he just thought he just laughed. He could just completely laughed that people think that stats are the main thing or the thing that we always have to look at to get our overall opinion on buying a player. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. and I don't think we should. There's no way that we should feel that that should be the main thing to buy a player. You know, I don't look at someone's stats and say, "Oh, he's a fantastic player. We need to buy him." I look at it from. I know people say that we shouldn't be emotional, but football is emotional, so you can't not look at a bit of feel emotion. It's how they impact the team overall. Now, when you look at Kane, you don't need stats to tell you he's a good player because you just need to see him the way that he plays. He plays up front, but also comes deep and creates as well. That's a great player. And you don't need to tell me that Romero's not a good player because you can see that he's a very good player because he's always on the ball. He's always on the front foot, trying to press forward and starts attacks off as well. And also is a very hard hitting defender. You don't need stats to tell you that. We don't need stats to tell you that. You don't need stats to tell you what a character looks like. I bet those stats did really well trying to get Ndombele in. I bet those stats did really well trying to get the Celso in. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I will never, ever, to my day, say that stats is what I'm going to look at. Never, ever, ever, ever. Sorry. And that's it. So, that's it really. Big up to everybody in the chat. Yep, I'm back. And many more streams as well coming ahead as well. Because, yeah, I need to get my opinion out. And that's it. That's a good comment. That's an interesting comment here. Claude Murphy, big up to you. It's most of your utterances are based on feelings, if and maybe nothing, or facts, or stats, nothing. Yeah, well, no, because for me, it's always about what I see on the pitch. Like I said before I started, and if you weren't here, sorry if you didn't hear. I wanted to do a stream with pictures of the matches and show you why I feel the way I feel about certain players. Unfortunately, because of copyright, I can't do that. I can't do that. So, I'm working on it. I'm working with some people to try and see whether we can get around that, how we can get around it. Because I want to show what what I see and why I feel the way I feel, and not just use stats. Because I think that is it can be it can it can be something that can just misunderstood. I think with stats, I think people use it to prove a point, but I don't think it really proves anything. Really, yeah, it shows what's happened on the day, yeah, but I don't think it's the ultimate thing. No, and that's why I think it's important. Big up to everybody's in the chat, by the way. 11 people watching. Please like. Please like. Please like. If you do agree with me, if you think that I'm talking a load of rubbish, please like. And it's very much appreciated. But yeah, I've got an interesting comment here from Bob Spur. Big up to you, Bob Spur. I think Ndombele and the Celso will come back. I'd also get Trippier back and offer 300 per 50 per week for Ericsson. I think Ericsson's going to Manchester United. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he's going to Manchester United. As long as he's not nowhere near West Ham and Leicester City, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. That's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me, Bob. I've got to be honest. I'm not really fussed that he's gone to Manchester United, to be honest with you. Ndombele and the Celso will leave. 100% will leave because of that rule about the European squad. Because the amount of foreign players allowed in the squad, 100% they have to leave. There's no way that they're staying. No way. 100% not staying. Whether we've got a choice or not, it doesn't matter because they're not going to be in the Champions League squad, and you can't keep players like that on big wages in the squad that are not in the Champions League. It doesn't make no sense. Alistair Gold said it perfectly, 100%. So yeah, he's definitely leaving. There's no way he's staying, unfortunately. Under million Celso, no way, absolutely no way. So yeah, on that's it really. Trippier's at Newcastle, so he's no way he's gonna yeah, Trippier's at Newcastle, isn't he? So there's no way that he's leaving Newcastle now. They're a dangerous team as well, especially with their new with their new thing with their new director of football. They're dangerous now. Newcastle, their new director of football, 100%, 100%. So right, I'm gonna have to end it here though, guys, because it is getting late. It's thank you for all your support. I might be back tomorrow. With another stream. I'm sorry if it has been off topic, but it is back. It is my first stream back, so I'm just getting back to the whole routine of it again. Hopefully have some new content as well. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out some new content in terms of trying to show my opinions that happening on the pitch rather than showing stats and all that rubbish. So yeah, maybe change my word into rubbish, away from rubbish. Maybe just say that I don't really want to do that. I'd like to show my overall opinion by showing what I see on the pitch rather than using stats. So hopefully soon I have some more content for you. But yeah, I'll hopefully do a live tomorrow and speak to you soon. And come and use Spurs. And thank you for all your comments as well. Thank you for all your comments as well. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for all your likes and support. And thank you for all watching. And take care of yourselves and have a good night. Take care. Bye bye.